Dainja will get the dunk at the buzzer. For the 8th time in school history, a Maple Girls softball team is going to state.
Hi there and welcome to Sports Jam for the week of December 23rd. I'm John Jacobson.
And I'm Jay Wilcox. This week on the show, plenty of highlights from the week. Plus, we meet one of the state's top prep boys basketball players from the class of 2020, Park Center's Dain Dainja.
And we'll look ahead to one of the nation's largest holiday hockey tournaments. Let's start with girls basketball and two of the best teams in the area and the state this season. Wayzata and Park Center both came into their matchup last week without a loss. This one at Park Center. Highlights from the first half. Lydia Hay strokes the jumper for Wayzata with the assist to Abby Kraswinski. Tanae Griffin cans a long three-pointer for the Pirates, and they're up 19-18. Mara Braun scores underneath for Wayzata off Kraswinski's feed. Late in the first half, Lauren Frost with a quick release three that is good. Park Center up 31-30 at the break. Annika Stewart floats the pass to Jenna Johnson for the basket. It's a 6-0 Wayzata run to start the second half. Park Center's Aaliyah Ragulin with a great touch on the pass to Griffin, and she finishes for two more. Braun finds Johnson for another hoop, and Wayzata is up 42-40. Then Stewart rises up and hits the jumper for a 51-47 lead. But the Pirates finish strong. Frost hits a huge three-pointer, giving her team a 54-53 lead. Adalia McKenzie finishes strong at the basket for Park Center, and the Pirates remain undefeated with a 71-62 win. Wayzata did bounce back with a win over Como Park on Friday.
The Pirates capped a busy week with a rivalry game against an improving Osseo team. Park Center visiting Osseo for this one. And it's all Pirates early off the steal. Adalia McKenzie sends it ahead to Tanae Griffin for the layup, and a 10-1 lead, 23 in the game for Griffin. Their backcourt trap leads to points as Ragulin nails the jumper off the steal. Park Center moments later goes up 16-1. With boxing star and Osseo grad Caleb Truax looking on, the Orioles try to get back in it. Leah Wilson drives for 2 of her 12 points. But McKenzie is tough to stop. The stutter step move leads to a layup, and Park Center goes up 44-29 at the half. Osceo's 2000 state championship team honored at halftime of this one, and the Orioles do claw back in it. They break the press to Jaden Klein for the layup. Klein nets 18 to lead Osseo. They swing it around the perimeter, and Klein sinks a big three. The Orioles have all of the momentum. They're back to within 11. But McKenzie is just too much. She scores 40 points in the game, and Park Center moves to 10-0 with an 80-58 win.
It's not a bad problem to have, but finding enough competitive opponents in non-conference play can be a challenge for the Hopkins girls program. The Royals did not get tested in a game against Tartan at the Lindbergh Center. KK Adams drives and then dishes to a wide-open Paige Beckers for a three as the Royals jump out to an 11-1 lead. Quick passing here, and Taylor Woodson gets great position deep in the post for the easy bucket. She scores 17 points to lead Hopkins. Kelly Boyle gets it to Adams, and she feeds Maya Najee for two more. It's 31-1 Hopkins at this point. Najee scores 11. They double team the dribbler, and Beckers gets the steal and layup on her way to a 14-point outing. Hopkins has a 35-0 scoring run on the way to leading 49-4 at halftime. Hopkins wins at 98-24 to improve to 9-0. In girls hockey, the last two unbeaten teams in the state were matched up as Maple Grove looked to take down top-ranked Andover. Crimson on home ice for this big game. Scoreless in the second, Brooke Casibo makes the save for Maple Grove, and the shot by Madeline Jurgensen. Casibo plays well. Shot is deflected on the way to the net, but Casibo stays with it. Crimson able to clear the puck. This keeps the game 0-0. A partial breakaway for Jamie Nelson. And Casibo makes a great pad save, one of 35 in the game for her. Maple Grove gets a power play chance, but Amanda Pelkey is quick with the glove. This game remains scoreless through 2 periods of play. In the third, Peyton Hemp wins the draw and scores a power play goal as Andover gets on the board just under 6 minutes into the period. Later, the first shot is off the crossbar, but Jurgensen is there to bury the rebound for a 2-0 Huskies lead. They add an empty netter in the last minute to beat Maple Grove 3-0. Crimson will play the Walser Invitational in Edina starting on Thursday.
The boys swimming season is in full swing. Two local squads went head-to-head in a Northwest Suburban Conference meet as Armstrong hosting Champlin Park at Plymouth Middle School. They're off on the 200 medley relay to begin the meet, and it's Armstrong's Justin Rolls, Ethan Kunze, Nathaniel Nelson, and Henry Kujak racing to the win in the time of 1:54.76. To the 200 free, it's Champlin Park's Mark Kronig taking the win by 7 seconds, his time 1:55.77. In the 200 IM, it's another win for the Rebels as Donovan Duran wins it. Armstrong's rolls as second. Duran's time is 2:11.05. The 50 free is as close as it gets. Dustin O'Brien of Armstrong just touches ahead of Champlin Park's Dalton Stolman to edge him by 1/100th of a second. In the 100 butterflies, Duran taking the top spot for Champlin Park. Champlin Park goes on to win the meet 101-85. And John, a nice note about two Champlin Park alums, Sidney Hilly and Izzy Ashburn helped the Wisconsin volleyball team to a runner-up finish at the NCAA tournament.
Great season for them. Fell short against Stanford, but again, a great year all around. Hilly, obviously one of their top players. We hit the ice for boys hockey highlights when Sports Jam continues.
And there's a rebound goal put away by Adam Johnson.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. We turn our attention now to boys hockey.
That's right. Armstrong Cooper was looking to get back above the 500 mark in their final game before the holiday break. Hopkins and goalie Zach Hayes visiting New Hope Arena. Armstrong Cooper with a 2-on-1. Jack Campion to Ben Anderson. His first try is stopped, but Anderson tucks the rebound in for the first goal of the game. Then down 2-0, Hopkins gets one on a 5-on-3 power play. Zach Peterson has plenty of room and he puts it away. It's 2-1 Wings after one period. Armstrong Cooper dominates the second. Anderson sets up Jack Campion for the deflection goal on the 2-on-1 rush, and the Wings carry a 3-1 lead into the third. Hopkins makes it interesting. Peterson's shot is blocked, but Jake Rainier is there to bury it for a power play goal, and the Royals are to within 3-2. It's all Wings from there, though. Joe Campion sneaks a shot through traffic from the point for his first goal of the season, and it's 4-2 AC. They add two more. Anderson sets up Austin Kubelbeck for an empty netter. As Armstrong Cooper wins it 6-2, they are 5-4-1.
Two of the area's top boys hockey teams went head-to-head last week in a game that could have section seeding implications come February. Benilde St. Margaret's ranked 7th coming in, Wayzata unranked. Trojans get a chance right away. Dylan Lewis breaks in, but the shot rings off the post and out. Benilde's Charlie Bishop gets the puck out in front. Charlie Warner chips the shot on goal, but it's stopped by Garrett Bonello. No score after one. With less than a minute to go in the second, Nate Schweitzer springs Warner on a shorthanded breakaway. He finishes for a 1-0 Red Knights lead. Early in the third period, a good forecheck by Wayzata. Sophomore Drew Streeter scores his first goal of the season, and it's 1-1. Schweitzer gets around the defenders and makes a nice move, but the shot denied by Bonello. We go to overtime. There's good action at both ends, but no goals. Bonello stops 39 Benilde shots. Carson Limesand stops 28 Wayzata shots, and this game ends in a 1-1 tie.
Totino Grace's boys hockey team is now in Class AA. They faced a section foe in 5AA as Osseo made the short trip to Brooklyn Park to face the Eagles. Osseo gets one on a power play as Cameron Klein threads a shot through a screen, and the Orioles grab a 1-0 lead. Grace comes right back, though. Luke Delzer with the poke check right to Sam Thielen, and he buries it to tie the game just 22 seconds after Osseo's goal. Then on a power play, the Eagles get one as Adam Johnson buries the rebound in close. Totino Grace takes a 2-1 lead at the first intermission. Early in the second, Kyle Heffron creates a turnover. He's stopped, and then his stick is slashed out of his hands as he tries to tuck the rebound in, but with a delayed penalty coming, Howie Moore trails the play and puts it away. It's a 3-1 lead for Grace. Then it's Thielen with a nice bank pass ahead to Delzer, and he snaps off a great wrist shot. to make it 4-1 Eagles. Down 5-1, Osseo forces a turnover and Jackson Dwyer converts the feed from Klein, but it's not enough as the Orioles fall to Grace 6-3. Also, Maple Grove lost for the first time last week as they were blanked by Andover 4-0. In boys basketball, Armstrong is off to a solid start. The Falcons look for their 5th win as they played host to Andover. Armstrong sophomore Peyton Newberg gets the steal and finishes at the other end as the Falcons go up 18-9. Jack Sharon with a nice pass to Jake Awney for a Huskies basket as they try to rally back. But Newbern sinks a long three-pointer, putting Armstrong up 26-15. Newbern scores 13. Adam Bewin sends the pass into Jake Breitbach, and he scores underneath. The Falcons are up 30-20 at halftime. Hezekiah Ayawe drives baseline early in the second half and drops in the reverse layup here for Armstrong. The Falcons hit back-to-back threes. Bewin is left open at the top of the key, and he hits. And then he floats it over to Breitbach, and he nails it with the defender in his face. Armstrong leads 42-26. They win 65-43 to improve to 5-1.
Cooper and Burnsville's boys basketball teams got up and down the court last week. The Hawks at home looking for their 3rd win of the season. First half, Daniel Rosenberg for Burnsville hits from the top of the key for 3 on his way to a 29-point night. Blaze lead by 3. Cooper's Tyson Dallas starts to drive, gives it up to Davian Evans in the corner for a 3. Hawks are up 48-44 at halftime. Early second half, there's a loose ball and Dallas gets to it first. He passes ahead to Broderick Powell Jr. for a layup. Cooper leads 52-50. Later, it's Anthony Clay Trezak in transition to Terrence Matthews for the Hawks bucket. Cooper's lead is 5. AJ Murphy passes to Trezak and then to Dallas, who hits the tough runner in the lane. He leads Cooper in scoring with 23 points. But the Blaze rally at a tie and they force overtime. Ibrahim Elamin forces a turnover here for the Blaze. Luke Kemp finds Rosenberg for a layup and Burnsville leads 97-91. But Cooper gets the final rally. Dallas to Evans for another 3. He nets 20 points in the game and Cooper wins 106-103. Early last week, Hopkins scored a big win over a highly touted team from Minneapolis. The Royals hosting Minnehaha Academy, the top-ranked team in Class 3A that features a lot of great talent, including senior Jalen Suggs. He drives the lane, draws contact, and scores here. A huge game for him. Red Hawks lead most of the first half. Jalen Tremble helped keep the Royals in the game early, scoring 16 points off the bench. In the first half, he finished the game with 23. Royals down 2 at halftime. Early second half, Suggs passes to Caden Johnson, who misses the layup, but the trailing Suggs slams home 2 more of his game-high 41 points. Minnehaha leads by as many as 10. But Kerwin Walton fuels the comeback for Hopkins. He hit the corner 3, one of 3 he made in the second half. And then check out the dunk here by Walton behind the back with a dribble, and then the big finish gets the Royals fans excited, and Hopkins is up 63-61. Eventually, this game goes to overtime. Suggs fouls out, and the Royals score their final 10 points of the game from the free throw line, including that one from Andre Gray. They beat Minnehaha 92-85. With not a lot of returning varsity experience back, both Breck and Brooklyn Center's boys basketball teams have struggled to win games early this season. Each team with new head coaches, too. Tim Senshin at Breck, who was at Breck in the early 2000s, and Justin Burgess takes over at Brooklyn Center. The Centaurs get off to a fast start. Cash Chavis with a three-pointer to make it 8-2, part of a 10-0 scoring run for BC. Freshman Quay Douglas drives down the lane into traffic, scores, and is fouled. Freshman leads the Centaurs in scoring. It's 14-4 Brooklyn Center. Andy Ott netted 10 first-half points for Breck, including this 3 to beat the buzzer at halftime. Mustangs will trail the Centaurs 28-18 at the half. Second half, Breck's Jaron Morton with a strong drive to the basket and finish. Morton scores 9 of his 13 points after halftime. Ott starts to drive on the baseline, then he'll dish to Jimmy Cook, who scores and is fouled. Breck gets as close as 7 points. But the Centaurs never give up their lead. Jameel Taylor misses from the corner, but fouls his own shot to score 2 big points late for BC. Brooklyn Center wins for a second time this season with a 63-52 win over Breck. First time I'd been in that gym since last year. Threw me without that stage on the far side of the gym.
Yeah, it looks a little bit different, but some work going on there, some remodeling a little bit at Brooklyn Center. Stay with us next on Sports Jam. Meet a dominant force for the talented Park Center boys basketball team. That's next in our Sports Jam Spotlight. Park Center is hoping to make a return trip to the state tournament in boys basketball this season. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we meet Pirates standout Dain Dainja. 6'10", 270-pounder Dain Dainja has vowed to be more aggressive this season.
Here comes Ijadimbola down the lane, shoveling it off, and Dainja hammers it.
That spells danger for Park Center opponents.
Last year, I would settle a lot, but this year I really want to, attack the basket. I've been working on a lot of my strength, my core, so I just want to use that in the game. Whatever is there, I'm going to take it.
In his early years, teams would start going, every time he got on the perimeter, people are daring him to shoot it, and his immaturity would, make him maybe shoot it up there. But now he's way more patient. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to let you trick me into shooting that ball. I'm going to shoot it when I want to shoot it, and I'm going to get the shot that I want. So
Dain has a new player to team up with and to go against in practice, in 6'9" John Grigsby, who moved here from out of state.
Back in Colorado, I didn't really see guys like him on a day-to-day basis, so coming here, just being able to battle against him every day has been something that's been really special, and I'm blessed to be able to do it. He's obviously an incredible player, but as a guy, he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. I thought being a top 50 in the country guy, I thought he was going to be a little different than he is, but he's just a really nice guy, down-to-earth guy, so I've really, really enjoyed getting to know him and play against him every day.
Dainja and his Pirates teammates have already faced Eastridge's 6'10" Ben Carlson, who scored 40 against them. They have Prior Lake and Dawson Garcia, and Minnehaha Academy's Jalen Suggs and his star-studded team on the schedule in the next couple of weeks.
Teams like that, like Prior Lake, Minnehaha, we got to, of course, do a lot of game planning for that. So it's not going to be like a usual game. So just got to practice harder, watch film, study team.
Suggs answers with a huge jam.
I'm kind of cool with Ben Carlson, all of them, Dawson, Jalen, so yeah, it's definitely going to be a battle, but once we step on the court, it's no friends on the court.
The class of 2020 in Minnesota boys basketball may be the best ever. Park Center coach James Ware says Dainja's as good as anyone in the state.
we're not a place that is like going out seeking attention from other people and him, whether he is Mr. Basketball or not. That's not, that's really not what has motivated him or motivated us. Really it's just about getting better every day.
Speaking of getting better, Dain's always looking to add to his game. He's revamped his jump shot, and his footwork and ball handling are superb for a guy his size.
That's one of the main things I worked on. My ball handling the past 3, 4, 5 years. It's been all about my ball handling. Now the new game in the NBA is you gotta be able to put the ball on the floor. So that's what I like to work on now.
A young senior who won't turn 18 until well after he graduates, Dain signed to play at Baylor next season.
When I went down there, when I went down to Waco, it was a good experience. Coaching staff, I love the coaching staff, the players, and the fan base is crazy. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
When I look at his physical ability, and he's been this way for a couple years. I mean, you could throw him out there right now, and physically, he'd be step by step with those guys. And you consider the fact that he's 17. You give him a few more years. I mean, the sky's the limit for Dain. I mean, what we're seeing right now, I don't think is a finished product. I think it's really just the beginning.
He plans to study kinesiology at Baylor. For any of the top stars in the state, it's tough not to be thinking ahead to college glory.
It's hard, Sometimes I just think about it, I was like, college.
But Dain Dainja is doing his best to focus on getting Park Center back to the state tournament.
Tamba off for Dainja, finish and one.
To take a shot at the school's first title in boys hoops.
I just got to stay focused on what we're doing now. This is my last year, so I definitely want to go out with a bang this year.
20-point lead now.
Park Center enters holiday tournament play with a 5-1 record. Dainja is averaging 22 points per game so far. John talks holiday tournament hockey with John Cherney from the Herb Brooks Foundation when Sports Jam returns.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. The Herb Brooks Holiday Classic Boys and Girls Hockey Tournament gets underway Thursday at the Super Rinks at the National Sports Center in Blaine. John Cherney is the executive director of the Herb Brooks Foundation, and this tournament, John, has been around since 2001, but the first time that Herb Brooks' name has been associated with it. Tell us how that came about.
Yeah, it's quite an honor, John. We work here with the National Sports Center. They came to us when Schwan's decided to move on, and they said we feel it's a natural fit to have Herb Brooks to be part of our tournament. Kelly Brooks Paradise and Dan Brooks, we talked about it. We said, sure, we'd love to do it. So here we are in the inaugural year right now.
Over 100 teams, the largest hockey tournament in the country as far as number of teams. The boys get underway Thursday, the girls next Monday. A great field of teams. Some really good teams are going to be involved in this tournament, right?
You bet. We also have, this is going to be the largest high school holiday tournament in the country. Most of the teams are from Minnesota, but we do have some teams from outstate, from other states. We've got the best women's program that we think that'll be here, the best women's tournament, and the boys tournament is going to be terrific too. We've got some former Gopher coaches who are coaching teams and members of the Herb Brooks Foundation board, so we're really excited about where this is going to head this year.
What are some of the special events that are going to be going on and special appearances of former Gophers and former Herb Brooks players that are going to go on with this?
Yeah, we're fortunate enough that we have Rob McClanahan, who is the interim coach at Blake, probably become the head coach, although he might not like me saying that, but he's going to be here to take pictures and talk about his relationship with Herb Brooks, a member of the 1980 Olympic team. Coach John Harrington, who happens to be the women's hockey coach of Minnesota State, will be here as well speaking. Dan Brooks, who I mentioned earlier, will be here to talk about his father and the family's commitment to youth and hockey. And then Joe Dzik, who's the coach of Minneapolis high school team, he'll be coaching that squad, and I'm sure he's never short for words. I'm sure we'll be able to get him to talk about the tournament.
How fun is it? I've been at this tournament before to go, and maybe you don't have a team that you're following, but you just like high school hockey, and you can jump from rink to rink with so many teams involved in both tournaments.
Oh yeah, it's terrific, and that's what makes the association between Herb Brooks Foundation and the NSC so special. There's 8 sheets of ice here. This is the largest hockey facility in the country. So if you love hockey and you want to see really good quality hockey being played by both boys and girls during the holidays, you should come here, because this one sheet of ice is going to have great hockey, and then go over to another. And tickets are available. You can pick them up by just walking to the front desk here and buy the tickets on site. I believe it's $10 for the tickets. It's a great value, and it's all during the holiday week, day after Christmas. So we encourage people to come up to Blaine to the Sports Center and really cheer on and root for these young people who are really making a difference in their communities, not just as hockey players, but as good citizens in our community.
John, thanks for your time. Should be a great tournament.
You're welcome. Thank you, John.
John Cherney is the executive director of the Herb Brooks Foundation. Again, the Herb Brooks Holiday Classic gets underway starting Thursday with the boys divisions, and then the girls on December 30th.
Play of the Week is taking the week off for the holidays, but beginning Monday, December 30th, you can vote for 4 new plays. Go to ccxmedia.org and click on the Sports tab, and then go to Play of the Week. It's brought to you by Chick-fil-A of Maple Grove. Here's last week's winner. Osseo wrestler Jager Shack needed just 11 seconds to score a pin in the 220-pound match, and the Orioles win over Park Center. Congratulations to him.
Our game of the week is a great girls basketball matchup. Top-ranked Hopkins visits 4th-ranked Park Center. Watch the game live Saturday night at 7 on CCX1 and ccxmedia.org. It replays that night at 10 p.m. and then Sunday at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. That will do it for this week's show.
Thanks so much for joining us. Happy holidays from all of us here at Sports Jam.